Welcome to Lord Fussington's walkthrough of the critically acclaimed game Dark Souls. I'm your walkthrough master, Lord Fussington. And this is part 6. Part after part 5 and the part before part 7. And that's just how numbers work. There's a certain order to them, and this is part 6 because the 5th... Anyway, I've already said this. As you can see, I've become human again, and I've also kindled the bonfire. The reason I'm human, the reason I'm human is because I was born this way, and is that a Lady Gaga song? Did I just mention her in this video? I'm sorry. I'm not a fan. It's just can't help but know, because it's just played relentlessly on the radio and all that. Let's just pretend it never happened, yeah? Okay. So there are these rats, and you can just kill them or avoid them. I did a bit of both. I think I killed less than I avoided. Right, the reason I'm human, other than being born this way... Is that a song by a lady? The reason I'm human is because I want to kill Kirk. Well, I don't want to kill him, but I want him to spawn, and I guess by extension kill him. Kirk, Knight of Thorns, spawns as a black phantom if you're in human form. Apparently, that's what I read. So I think that's happened. That's happened with. Well, I usually try to be human throughout the game. Anyway, he spawns, and he spawns a total of 3 times in this game, and this is the first encounter. So you encounter him 3 times. Each time, you've got to kill him. So, but you've got to be in human form for him to spawn. And this is the first encounter. If I repeated any of that, it's because I'm dreadfully redundant. So this area is probably the most irritating of the depths. I wouldn't say it's difficult. I think you just need to be prudent. And the reason you need to be prudent is mainly because of these guys, who are basilisks, and they sort of spew some sort of haze or fog or whatever, a haze of curse, right? So if you walk in it, or if you stay in it long enough, you'll be cursed, which damages your HP until you decreases your HP until you consume a purging stone or whatever. So it is a bit... It can ruin the Dark Souls experience. It can't ruin it as badly as, say, the archers in Anor Londo, but it does a pretty good... Actually, no, the archers in Anor... I don't know which one's worse, being cursed or having to deal with them. Probably cursed, because it's a little bit more... There's a permanency about it. Permanency. It's a bit of a strong word to use, but you know what I mean. No, actually, the solution's a bit easier. But the Anor Londo twats, it's not... And actually, it's pretty easy to avoid the curse. Also, you can have curse-resistant stuff as well. I don't use it. If you have a purging stone, you should have a purging stone. If you don't have one, that's fine. I don't have one either. Basically, I went into this without having anything. But if you know where everyone is, and if you know... The trick really is to just... Other than avoid the curse, other than avoid the fog, is just separate them. Like in Demon Souls and Dark Souls, you want to separate enemies, because you can get overwhelmed when there are too many. And that's why you saw where I jumped off, right? I went off the waterfall rather than one of those holes in the hallways. We've passed several of those holes in the previous video, and I think I walked in front of one of them in this video. Actually, I jumped over it. Those holes will bring you right in front of the basilisks, and while you're recovering from the fall, they'll have an opportunity to curse you. So that's why taking the waterfall route is a bit safer, and by a bit I mean far safer. It's the safest way. So you want to do that. and then you want to separate them. So you see how so we already killed one. There's about 10 of them. And you saw how I pulled this guy. I just went a little bit in, and then he was pulled, and the other one wasn't. Dealing with 2 at a time is a little bit more annoying. It's just because they're quick, and the more of them that can. If there's 2, then there's more fog going around, and you don't want that. Alright. Okay, so here you just want to pull the one all by himself. If you don't have arrows, just go closer. Basically, there's nobody on no one immediately on your left, or no one facing you from the left side, so you can just go forward and pull him that way as well. Alright, not only do you have to be in human form for Kirk to spawn, but the area boss has to still be alive. So keep that in mind. I'm sure most of you know that, but I mean, generally you run into him. If you're in human form, you run into him anyway because you're on your way to the boss. So at least that's my experience. I've killed him. I've encountered him all 3 times in a playthrough, so. Okay, so that guy's dead. So here you have 2. I don't recommend jumping down and using the fall attack technique. It might be a little bit risky because there is another one lurking in the tunnel right below us. So there are 3, and we can see 2. So I think you can just walk on the stairs a little bit, and he'll spot you. You can see him now. He'll spot you, and then you can just run back up. Be careful because they do leap, and like I think you'll see the curse kind of. Oh, maybe it's not this one. It's the other guy. But the curse can reach you even when you're like above if they do a leap, and you see that. Yeah. Basically, I usually see 2 moves. There's that one there, and then there's the jump spit one. Those are the most common anyway. Okay, so you can see how the fog has gone through the floor, so you want to be careful and just be aware of it. Just get out of the fog as quickly as possible. And that's actually a pretty good time to attack, come to think of it, because the amount of time he takes to actually breathe it does give you enough time to attack him. So keep that in mind. I guess those are moves as well. I just don't see them as attacks. He just hops around. Okay, so I think there's one more left. That was a great shot. So you can see how I dealt with all of them. It's really about getting behind. Not only separating them from each other, but getting behind them. Because the fog generally doesn't go... you have to leap over. There's a hole there, so you have to leap over it. Yeah, and you want to have cleared the area before you do this, because... you know, or else you'll have to deal with the basilisk. Like so in this area, if you hadn't cleared this area, yeah, mind you, you would have probably pulled them if you ran just across and jumped over. Yeah, well, either way, clear before you pick up items. So that's it for the basilisks. I mean, experienced players won't have a problem with it, because I mean they've dealt with it so many times. But if anyone's new, that's how you kill them. The other thing you want to be aware of in this area, which annoys me to no end, and I've had more trouble with them, it's these rats. If you're sprinting around, I find they just get pulled. They're all hiding behind the corners over there. So when you jump off the waterfall, straight in front of you, and around the corner there's one or two rats or whatever. And if you start sprinting around, I find you aggro them, and then you have to deal with them, and they get a jump on you. So you don't want to actually. You don't want to go all around the corner. You don't want to go around the corner right away. Stick to the left wall, because if you get around the corner, Kirk will spawn, and then you have to deal with Kirk and the rats, which is a bit annoying. I suggest just walking carefully, clearing out the basilisks, then sprinting back. You'll have pulled the rats, and then you kill the rats, and then you can just deal with Kirk. Kirk is quick. I mean, that's what I would describe him as. He's not difficult. You just want to be careful when he gets up, because he always rolls, and his roll will hurt you, because his armor is there's spikes. There's spikes on his armor. So just get behind him, sort of keep your shield up, and get backstabs in. That's what I would do. And I'm not doing a good job against him. You just have to pay attention to his moves. Actually, I'm not even getting backstabs. What the fuck is going on? Oh right, I'm shit. For fuck's sake. Anyway, really inelegant fight, but yeah, he is dead. You shouldn't have that. I mean, it's not. If it looked at all difficult, it's because I just did a really bad job. You know, he does a flurry of attacks, and then that's when you have the opportunity to attack him, and you want to get the backstabs in. You know, regular attacks don't do well, at least with this battle axe. Is this a battle axe? I think it is. I have no idea. I don't care. So there's a little bit of slime here. So those two, and then there's one on the top, on the ceiling that falls. There he is, and two rats. This is really the last section before the boss. It also leads back to the bonfire, and leads to Blighttown. Oh, I hate fucking Blighttown. Oh, and there's the merchant, yeah. merchant is Domhnall of Zena, which is probably pronounced entirely correctly. What I would buy from him is gold pine resin. Just buy it. He sells 3 of them, pretty cheap. And yeah, you coat your weapon before the fight, or well, actually I'll have the opportunity to do it during the fight, and that'll really kill the gaping dragon. That's the fight I was alluding to, because that's the next fight to worry about. Gaping dragon's just a bit of a long battle anyway. Before you go here, you want to head over to the bonfire, because there's a door, right? So I don't know what the fuck I'm doing here. I probably forgot about the door. I think I go back though. Also you can summon Solaire and the other douche, and if they can help you out, there's a summon thing. The sign, the summoning sign. Of course you don't have to, but and the gaping dragon isn't difficult. You just have to stay away from him. And it's really just a fight of endurance. And I think I played quite safe. I only attack him after, because you can also attack him in the face after he sort of lands. But I don't think I do that in this video, in this fight. Whoops. By the way, oh, fucking idiot. So, I mean, for the next part of the video, I usually buy, because we're going to end up saving, what's his name, Laurentius, and then I usually buy all of his stuff, which is like 150,000 souls or something. So you don't want to, and if you're going to do that, which I recommend you do, because then you'll have all the everything he has to offer, because the next stop is Blighttown, right? So I think it's Blighttown. I don't think I'm going to go to Darkroot. I don't know, I've got to decide actually. I think it'll probably be Blighttown. And then once you kill the boss, he'll... Oh, did I just get poisoned? Unbelievable. For fuck's sake. Well, at least I'm consistently shit. It would have been terrible if I didn't... Well, I just could have went back to the bonfire. Right, so you know, you may not want to use your souls to level up, and you might want to save them so you can get all of the stuff from him, and you will have to go farm as well. In Darkroot Garden or whatever the fuck it's called. But anyway, that's just optional. That's what I do. So I'll probably show a little bit of it in part 7. But that is after, because right now it's still part 6, and it's quite a lot of time left. So this fight is very long. I don't know why I have the Drake sword when I'm gonna use gold pine resin, because it doesn't work. Oh, which I actually, yeah, I do figure, yeah. Right. Wonder what that looks like. What an ugly creature. Okay, so when he smashes the ground like that, he'll end up running into, you know, just running straight. Watch out for his legs, they will kill you. And what you want to do is get behind him and just attack his tail. Now, I recommend attacking the tail regardless. Even first of all, you need to get the weapon, right? Second of all, even if you already have it for whatever reasons, say this is your second attempt or whatever, or your second, well, if it's your second playthrough, I don't know why you're watching this. I'm joking. It's absolutely fine. But you want to get rid of his tail because it really cuts down on one of his moves, which is important. He can't hit you with his tail, which is fantastic. If he can't hit you with his tail, that means it's just one less way to kill you. So even if you are on your second playthrough or whatever, just get rid of the tail. Mind you, if you're on your second playthrough, you probably don't need any advice at all. You could probably just slash him in the face and all the time, and you'll be fine. But you know, for the newer players, generally you want to get rid of the tail. Okay, so when he'll fly around, so just roll away. You can attack him a couple of times actually after that, and then you'll have to roll away again. But I find the easiest, or the best opportunity, is really after he smashes the ground with his face. The thing is, he'll only do that if you're at a distance. If you're too close, generally he doesn't do that. He'll fly in the air or just attack you with his arms, and his tail if he has it. Actually, not usually with his tail. So you can see that was an arm, and you know he's going to. I mean, you just know. Oh, that would have been the tail attack. So see, now I'm at a distance. So he hits the ground. And then you want to circle him. And always be aware of your surroundings. It's amazing how easy it is to get trapped. And those were a couple of really well executed shots. You could even attack a couple more times in that situation as well. Okay, so now I've switched out just so that I can use the gold pine resin, which will make the fight a lot faster. Obviously lightning is, you know, when it comes to dragons, lightning is the way to go. This is working out wonderfully. So one hit. For fuck's sake. The other thing you want to be aware of is your endurance. Chances are it'll be low at this point. So you want to make sure that when you get to the tail you still have enough to get several shots in. I mean, ideally you want to get 4 or 5 shots. Generally I just get, I guess about 3, which isn't that good. But I mean, you get the gist of it. It's really just running in circles, keeping your distance so that he'll smash the floor, and then that wasn't exactly the best time to use gold pine resin. Oh, there's another kind of move. You usually don't see that. By the way, in terms of his legs, I mean, I got a knee to the face on my Dex character, and she died in, I mean, right away. So The knees hurt. I mean, they would. It is a dragon, after all. If his knees didn't hurt, that would be a bit... wouldn't make much sense, because the amount of weight probably behind. And this is a very realistic game, so I imagine that... there's a dragon. It is realistic. There are dragons. Also, I'm a lord. You know, these are just all facts. Sorry, there's just not much to say. It's a really easy fight, and it's just long. You know. The Capper Demon is more difficult than the Gaping Dragon. Usually you won't take a death. It might just take a really long time if you don't have gold pine resin, if it's your first playthrough. Because if you have a lightning weapon, for instance, you know, so if this is your second playthrough, it's a fucking joke, you know. Yeah, so now I don't have any more gold pine. So we're back to the Drake Sword. Which I sort of like, sort of don't like. I mean, I think it's good for the start of the game. Actually, I have the black, what's it called? The Black Knight Sword or something like that? I've got that, so I'm probably going to end up using it. Because this is a strength-based character, so I can. I think I just have to raise my dex a little bit. So I'll probably end up using that, which is quite a good weapon. I think I already said this, but if I didn't, you do want to pay attention to your surroundings. Just always be aware of how close you are to the edge or how close you are to a wall. Oh, now I do remember saying that. That's how long the video is, just how long this fight is. And that was a good kick there. I think I moved him. Oh, why didn't I just kill him there? Fucking hell. Well, I guess it is better to be safe than sorry, but... I mean, in some ways, I think I would have rather... No, I wouldn't have wanted to be sorry. Because that's just... Imagine after the entire fight, just right at the end. And actually, funnily enough, this is a little bit of a tense moment. He's got no health left, and I'm running away, and he's right behind me. Yeah, I think when I was playing, I figured, well, I haven't died in a while. Chances are, and it would just be my luck as well. But apparently that didn't happen. So Blighttown Key, victory achieved. Gaping Dragon is dead. What a fucking stupid name is it? Gaping Dragon. I mean. Come on. So I'm just thinking about how terrible that name is. Gaping Dragon. I mean, that just conjures up other images as well. So after I apologize. And not really. Just take the homeward bone. So after you kill the Gaping Dragon, use a homeward bone and is that what it's called? Okay, apparently I'm confused in game as well as here in homeward bone. I think that's what I said. Okay, so we'll get back to the bonfire. Mainly because, well, I'm going to head up head back to Firelink Shrine in the next video first, because there is some farming, and then we're going to go to Blighttown. And mind you, that whole part of farming will be edited out, so like the first 5 minutes are just going to be very very much edited, and to get rid of the more boring bits. I wish I could have edited most of the Gaping Dragon, but maybe I should have. But, you know, whatever. Not the end of the world, is it? You want to keep your souls, by the way. To buy stuff, I decided, fuck it. So, thank you very much for watching. I've been Lord Fussington. Oh wait, usually I say, I've been Lord Fussington. Thank you very much for watching. Kindly rate, comment, and subscribe. The next video will be part 7, because this was part 6, so part 7 is the only... It wouldn't be part 8, that would be absurd. And we'll be going to Blighttown. Exciting.